need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help. Welcome to the second part of this lesson about the Beatles song Help. Now in this part of the lesson I'm going to look at the more advanced stuff, the things you can impress your friends with, the fancy bits. And we'll start with that lovely George Harrison guitar riff. Now when George played that lovely guitar piece in the 1965 recording, he was playing an electric guitar and he was using a pick. I think he was flat picking it. It certainly sounds that way. But let's look at how he does it. So I've got my pick in my hand now. You're going to start with your ring finger on the 5th string, 7th fret, and you're going to put your index finger on the 4th string, 5th fret. Now with your right hand, with your pick, you're going to do a down stroke on the pick, hitting just the 5th string, and then another downstroke hitting just the 4th string, and then another downstroke hitting just the 3rd string, and then finally an upstroke on the pick hitting the 2nd string. So we have this. Now once we've done that, we move both our fingers, our ring finger, our index finger, down 1 fret, keeping them on the same strings, just down 1 fret. They're now on the 6th fret and the 4th fret respectively. And then we do exactly the same thing with our right hand. 5th string down, 4th string down, 3rd string down, 2nd string up. Then we move down 1 more fret with our left hand, and we do exactly the same thing again with our right hand. 5th string down, 4th string down, 3rd string down, 2nd string up. And then finally we move down 1 more fret still. So now our ring finger is on the 5th string, 4th fret, and our index finger is on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And again we're going to do the same thing with our right hand. 5th string down, 4th string down, 3rd string down, 2nd string up. So playing that fairly slowly, we have this. If we speed it up, it'll sound something like this. Okay, having nailed that famous George Harrison guitar riff, let's think about the very start of the song next. Now the song starts on a B minor chord. Help, I need somebody, goes to G major. Help, not just anybody, then to E7. Help, you know I need someone, then to A major. Help, always find it really difficult to get that high vocal note there. Now, what's happening if you go back and listen to the record is that the acoustic guitar, the rhythm guitar, played I think probably by John Lennon, is playing this rhythm. And that is down, 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 up, down. That's the basic rhythm. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Help, I need somebody help, not just anybody, and so on. Now what the electric guitar is doing is it's basically picking out some bass notes. So it's picking out the bass notes of each chord, the B, the bass note there, which is on the 5th string for us, and the bass note on the G chord, which is on the 6th string, and the bass note on the E chord, which is also on the 6th string. But that electric guitar isn't just picking out those main bass notes, it's playing the passing notes between them as well. So it's doing this. Help, I need somebody help, not just anybody help. And what we want to do is build in those bass notes, including the passing notes, into our playing of the chords. So how can we do that? Okay, broadly, there are 2 ways that we can achieve the effect we want. One is using a pick, and that's known as flat picking. So there we're picking out the bass notes with our pick, and we're also strumming with it as well. Or the other way is to finger pick using our thumb and our index finger. A bit like that. So those are the 2 options. Now, I've tried both, and with this song, I think generally I I prefer the flat picking approach using a pick. So I'm going to show you that one first, and then I'll talk a little bit about the approach using your thumb and your index finger after that. Okay, let's take that flat picking approach first then, and let me play you the start of the song using flat picking so you know what you're aiming to achieve. Here it is. Help, I need somebody help, not just anybody help, you know I need someone. So, how do we do that? Okay, let's start with that first chord of B minor then. Now, remember the basic strumming pattern is down, 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 up, down. Now the only difference in that first strumming pattern is that instead of playing a full down on that very first beat, we're just going to pick out the bass note, which for the B minor is on the 5th string. So I'm going to pick out the 5th string only with my pick for my first bass note. Then I'm going to play with the pick, starting from the 4th string downwards, down, down, and then an up, and then a down. So we got this. So that's the first chord. Now what I do next is I play that B note again on the 5th string with my pick, and then I'm going to do a quick down up with my pick. Now next I want to play the passing bass note, which is the note of A. So to do that I'm going to slide my index finger on my left hand down so that it's not fretting the 5th string anymore, it's just spreading the 4th string downwards. So now I've got my open A and I can play that with my pick. So again I'm playing the 5th string and then down up again with my pick from the 4th string downwards. And next I'm ready to go to the chord of G major. So I assume the G major chord with my left hand, play the bass note only with my pick, which is on the 6th string, and then I'm going to play the rest of the strumming pattern with my pick. So down, down, up, down. So far we've got this. What we do next is we play a single note of G on the 6th string with my G major chord here, and then a down up again. Now I'm going to walk down to the E7 chord, so I'm going to take my ring finger off of that 3rd fret, 6th string, and I'm going to replace it with my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, which is an F sharp note, which is my passing note between G and the E chord. So I'm going to play that 6th string, that's the F sharp there, quick down up with my pick, and now I'm arriving at the E7 chord, so assume the E7 chord with your left hand, and now play a full strumming pattern, with the only difference being of course the first downstroke will just be on that 6th string, the note of E. So there we are, we now have this. When you arrive at the next chord, which is the A major, I'd suggest just a single downstroke. Help! I can never get that note. Okay, let's move on to the verse of the song. So just as a reminder, the chords for the verse are A major, when I was younger so much then, C sharp minor, younger than today, then F sharp minor, I never needed anybody's, then D, helping, G major, any, and then A major, way. So those are the chords. Now, let's think how we're going to play them. Well, when you're trying to work out how to play these songs solo on an acoustic guitar, it's not a bad idea to go back to the original recording and listen to it, and in particular listen to the bass line. And if you listen to the bass line of the recording of Help in that verse segment of the song, you find it's something like this. So it has that kind of vibe, this kind of bouncy staccato sort of feel. Now, We can't play that exactly on our acoustic guitars when we're also playing the chords, because we're trying to play the chords too. It's an acoustic guitar, not a bass guitar, and we're not Paul McCartney. But we can sort of hint at that bass line when we're playing our chords, at least by alternating our bass notes. On that A major, for example, we do the same thing on the C sharp minor. So let's see how we can flat pick and bring out those bass notes as we're playing our chords. Okay, let's start with the first chord of that verse, which is A major. So what we're going to do here is play the root note of the chord in the bass. That's the note of A, which is on the 5th string. So we're going to play that 5th string with our pick, and then do a down up with our pick, focusing on strings 4, 3, 2 and 1. And then we're going to play our alternating bass line, which is the 6th string, actually the note of E, and then another down up on strings 4, 3, 2 and 1. So we've got bass note, down up, alternating bass note, down up, and it will sound like this if I play it slowly. When I was younger so much. Then when we go to that C sharp minor, we can do exactly the same thing with the right hand, alternating between the 5th and the 6th strings and the bass, and playing the down ups between them. Younger than today. When we get to the F sharp minor, we just switch the alternation, so we're starting with the 6th string and then alternating to the 5th string. I never needed anybody's. And then for Help in Any Way, that's just a single downstroke on D, helping, a single downstroke on G, any, and then we're on to that A major chord, way, and once we've sung the word way, we're going to do up, down, up. Helping any way, like that. Okay, that alternation that I've shown you is fine, it's good, but remember that bass line had this kind of staccato, bouncy sort of feel. Like that. So how can we get closer to that feel when we're playing the verse? Well, the answer to getting that staccato feel of the bass line into your playing, I think, lies with damping the strings with your right hand as you play. Let me demonstrate for you. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. Now the thing about that staccato feel is you can do it aggressively or you can do it in rather a more relaxed fashion. It's up to you. So aggressively would be a little bit like I just demoed for you, you know, like this. When I was younger, so much younger than today. But if you relax it a little bit, it'll sound more like this. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. So all I'm doing there is just being a little bit less aggressive with my playing, not hitting the strings so hard with my right hand. And as far as I'm damping is concerned, I am damping, but not all the time. I'm kind of arranging my right hand so it's not quite covering all the strings. It's leaving the top few strings open and undamped at least some of the time, and that just relaxes the feel, and I think that's quite a nice way to go. But obviously it's up to you. You can damp aggressively, damp in a relaxed manner like that, or don't damp at all. Okay, we haven't talked about the chorus of the song yet. Just before we do, let me say, if you're enjoying this lesson, please do hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel, which will help me to grow the channel, but also it means if you subscribe, you'll be notified of all future guitar lessons as they come up. Now let's talk about the chorus of the song. First of all, when we talk about the chorus, there is a variation of the chorus on the very end of the song. And if you want to know about that variation, go and have a look at my introductory video about playing Help. I'll put a link to that in a pinned comment at the top of the comment section, and that will tell you about the final variation to the chorus at the end of the song. Apart from that, the chorus chords are the same as the first part of the song, as the introduction. Start with a B minor, help me if you can, I'm feeling down. G major, and I do appreciate you being around. E7, help me get my feet back on the ground. To A major, won't you please, please help me. So those are the chords. Now, in terms of what you do with them, how you play them, I'd suggest a similar approach to the verse. Let me show you. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? With apologies about that really high note that I just can't get. Okay, so in that chorus, what I'm doing is taking elements of what I did in the verse and elements of what I did in the introduction, and I'm putting them together. So you probably noticed I'm usually alternating bass notes, and I'm doing relaxed damping during that chorus. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. I'm doing the passing notes from the introduction. And I do appreciate you being right. Passing notes. Help me get my feet back on the ground. So there's nothing new there really. We're just taking the elements we've already learned in the introduction to the song and the verse of the song, and we're putting them together. And that's it. Okay, at the beginning of the video I said there were two broad approaches to playing help on your acoustic guitar. One is flat picking, which is what I've shown you, and the other one is using your thumb and your index finger. Now for help, my preference is flat picking. I just prefer the sound and feel of it. But you can play it with your thumb and index finger, and if you do, it'll sound a bit like this. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. So let's just take a quick look at how you do that. So we think about the verse. When we're flat picking, we're playing a bass note, then doing a down up, then playing the alternating bass note, then doing another down up. And actually with thumb and index finger we're doing the same thing. So it's just that the thumb is playing the bass notes and the index finger is doing the down ups. Alternating bass note, down up. So we just have this: 5th string, down up, 6th string, down up, 5th string, down up, 6th string, down up. And that's how we play it with our thumb and our index finger. Now, one advantage of the thumb and index finger approach is that you can develop it into slap technique on the song. So I'll play you what the song sounds like with a bit of slap technique added to that thumb and index finger way of doing it. Here we go. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. So what is slap technique? Well, the actual slap bit is relatively straightforward. What you're doing is bringing the thumb, so it's this part of your thumb, down onto normally the 5th string or the 6th string with a bit of force, like that. And that's causing that string to really hit, to slap if you like, against some of the metal frets, around about here somewhere. And that's what's making that sound. And you do it on the 2nd and the 4th beat of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is sort of imitating a snare drum, which plays on the off beat, the 2nd and the 4th beat of the bar. So in help it would be, help me if you can, I'm feeling down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Now the key thing is, when you're doing that slap with your thumb at the same time with your index finger, and for me I think I use a bit of my middle finger as well, you're doing a downstroke onto strings 4, 3, 2, perhaps a bit of 1. So it's like this. You're getting that simultaneously, the slap and those higher strings 4, 3, 2 and 1 also ringing out at the same time. That's the essence of it. So on the first beat of the bar, you play a normal bass note with your strum, with your thumb rather, and on the second beat, you're doing your slap. So in help on that B minor chord, it would be help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And that's the essence of slap technique.